Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We're set for another gorgeous night of baseball here at Phil Welch Stadium as the St. Joseph Mustangs get set for another Mink League game tonight as they take on the Ozark Generals. Myself, Red Tracy, bringing you tonight's broadcast as Mustangs look to improve to 14-7 in league play, maintain their lead on the Chillicothe Mudcats in the North Division of the Mink League as they have a 1.5 game lead heading into this one. The Ozark Generals sit at 10-12 in league play. They're 5 games back of Sedalia in the Southern Division. Actually, last night they came off of a doubleheader against Sedalia, ended up splitting that one. So they're 10-12 in league play, 11-14 on the season as the Mustangs are 20-8 so far this year. So looking to improve on that mark as they came off a win last night against the North Kansas City Apartments in a little 2-game skid for them. We'll have the starting lineup for the Ozark Generals. We get set to play here. Leading off for the Generals, number 6, Trevor Bowling. Batting second, number 11, John Goodrich. Batting third, number 2, Robert Prado. Batting fourth, number 30, Spencer Blacksher. Batting fifth, number 17, Joe Battaglia. Batting sixth, number 50, Peyton Reed. Batting seventh, number 8, Ian Josh. Batting eighth is number 4, Gage Webster. And batting ninth is number 3, Greg Papillison. Is on the hill tonight for the Mustangs is Jake Jones, as hopefully many of you know in his first start with the Mustangs. Just a few days, or not a few days ago, it was last week in the second game of a doubleheader last Friday night against Branson. Ended up throwing a no-hitter. So looking for a lot of the same here tonight as he chops one to the shortstop, Husky, and out at first base for the first out here in the game. As Husky makes a nice play on a high chopper, thrown over to Corper at first base. So we'll head around the defense for the Mustangs, starting in the outfield. Left field is Kyle Richards, Ryan Abernathy in center with Zach Johnson playing right field. The left side of the infield is Hayden Steele at third, Brandon Husky, who just made that last play at shortstop. So we got another ground ball right back up the middle. Jones snags it, tosses over to Corper for the second out in the inning. So 2 quick outs here. We'll head back to the defense. On the right side is Lucas Powers at second, Joe Corper at first, and Francisco Alvarez behind the dish. And as I said, Jake Jones, the starter for tonight, had that no-hitter last time. So through all 7 innings of that second game of a doubleheader, had 3 strikeouts in that one. So looking to run quickly through this first inning here as it's 2 up and 2 down for him. And the designated hitter for the Generals, Robert Prado, at the plate now as he watches strike number 1 go by. There's ball number 1 just a bit inside there. So I said the Mustangs win last night 2-0 against the North Kansas City Apartments. We have a ground ball over to third baseman. Hayden Steele picks it up on a high hop, throws over to Corper at first for the final out here in the inning. So Generals go down 1-2-3, and we'll head into the bottom half of the first and see if the Mustangs can't get something on the board. And we're back here at Phil Welch Stadium. We head into the bottom half of the first inning. Mustangs coming up to bat as they send leadoff man Lucas Powers to the plate. Batting second is the shortstop Brandon Husky. Batting third, center fielder Ryan Abernathy. Batting fourth, the first baseman Joe Corper. Batting fifth, the designated hitter tonight, Mike Sherburne. Batting sixth, the right fielder Zach Johnson. Batting seventh, the left fielder Kyle Richards. Batting eighth, the third baseman Hayden Steele. And batting ninth, the catcher for tonight, Francisco Alvarez. The Generals tonight has started to the hill named Richard Nason, whose names he deals ball one there to Lucas Powers. Powers played in 17 games so far this year. He's gone 7 for 35 for a 200 average. Has 7 walks, though, as well. So somebody that's patient enough to wait for his pitch. As it's a 2-0 count, now 2-1 on Powers. As I said, the Mustangs came off a win last night, beating the North Kansas City Apartments 2-0. And a little 2-game skid for them as they lost to the Kansas City Monarchs here at Phil Welch Stadium on Wednesday night, 3-0. Went down to Joplin to play the Outlaws on Thursday. Ended up losing that one 4-0. So hopefully they start getting back to their winning ways as Powers draws a leadoff walk from Nason. That brings up the 2-hole hitter Brandon Husky to the plate. Huskies played in 20 games so far this year. Got 10 RBIs on the season, batting .217. Also has 11 walks as well. So somebody else that's patient enough to wait and find their pitch. And if they don't get it, he's not afraid to take the walk. As there's strike one hitting the inside corner there. As Nason now delivers here, Powers thought about taking off, stays at first base when Husky watches ball number one go by. Brings the count to 1-1. As we got a chopper right up the middle, second baseman Bowling able to handle it, tosses over to Goodrich covering second base. So Powers is out, but no attempt at the double play, as Husky is safe at first base on a no throw from Goodrich. So still in the same position, though, as we have a runner on first base with one away now, as the center fielder Ryan Abernathy heads up to the plate. Abernathy definitely the hottest start for the Mustangs this year. He's got the best bat on the team statistically so far this season. He's batting .368 in 22 games played. Got 18 RBIs as well, so somebody leading the team in RBIs actually. So somebody that's driving in runs and getting on base when you need them to. You watch a strike number one go by there. He looks to lay down a bunt there, but goes foul off the plate. So it's just strike number two now. Abernathy quite a bit of speed as he does have 10 stolen bases on the season. Actually, I believe that's 11 stolen bases on the season, as he did have one last night as well. So 11 stolen bases for Abernathy. He's got a lot of speed as he looked to lay down that bunt, but Don't expect him to here as he sits on an 0-2 count. Pitcher taking a long look over at Husky on first base, so Abernathy stepping out of the box. Taking a little breather before this one. As Nason delivers and low there, almost in the dirt for ball number one. So the count at 1-2 now. A good crowd out here tonight is a big Saturday night crowd. Cried. That doesn't work at all. So a big Saturday night crowd tonight as it was raining about 2 hours before game time, but that's hopefully off the radar for the rest of the night as the people of St. Joe decided to come on out and watch the Mustangs hopefully get a win tonight. Keep their first place lead in the North Division as a 2-2 count on Abernathy as he fouls one back off behind the stands here. As Nason now set to the three go by, so brings it to a full count on Abernathy. So he's worked back from that 1-2 start, bringing it to a full count now. Husky still standing on first. It's a big breaking ball by Nason falls in there for strike number 3. Caught Abernathy looking on that one. For the second out here in the first inning, that brings up the first baseman Joe Corper to the plate for the Mustangs. Corper watches ball one, just a bit inside. I believe tonight is One Hit Wonders night for the Music. I don't think that was a one-hit wonder. As I wouldn't say it was, but who really knows? I don't know music. I just listen to it. Who really knows? As Corper watches strike number 1 go by, so it brings it to a 1-1 count, 2 away here in the bottom of the first. As Corper thought about swinging on that one. The umpire still calls it a strike. It looked like Corper checked his swing, but it was a big breaking ball by Nason. Bringing it into a 1-2 count now. Let's see what Nason does here. As he deals a fastball. Plenty of fans still filing in here. As Husky takes off for second base, and a line drive down the right field line, just foul on that one. That falls about a foot to 2 feet outside the lines here. So keeps the count at 2-2. Reset things as Husky jogs on back to first and do things over again here. As Nason looks in for the sign here, ready to do this 2-2 count over again. A swing and a miss by Corper for strike number 3. That sets down the Mustangs for this inning. So nothing after 1. We'll see if Jones can go 1, 2, 3 on the Generals in the top half of the second. And we're back here in the top half of the second inning as the Generals send third baseman Spencer Blacksher to the plate. Ground ball down the third base line, just foul. So strike number one on Blacksher. I don't know if you can tell by now after just watching that first inning, but Jones definitely a ground ball pitcher, dealing low in the strike zone. Hoping batters will hit the top of the ball and just ground one as the foul ball goes into the right field concourse area over there for strike number two. And also, not only did he ground or have 3 ground ball outs in the first inning, only 3 strikeouts in his no-hitter. So definitely the ground ball outs are working for him so far this year. As he deals just outside for ball number one, brings to a 1-2 count. The swing and a miss there for Blacksher brings him down on strikes. Jones's first strikeout of this ball game. That brings up the first baseman Joe Battaglia to the plate. Jones now set to deliver to Battaglia. A swing and a foul tip. As there's strike number one on Battaglia. Jones just misses inside on a little breaking piece there, so 1-1 count on him now. Jones just misses the outside corner, brings it to 2-1. I don't know if you can tell on the feed. Oh, you definitely can, as the sun is now shining here at Phil Welch Stadium. Had plenty of sunshine this morning. Went away for a while as the rain moved in, as that was a ground ball down the third base line that went into foul territory, bounced back into fair territory, but I guess they just called it foul. Might have hit the bat twice on that one. That brings it to a 2-2 count. Saying the sun is shining yet again. So a beautiful night is turning out to be for the Mustangs players and the Mustangs fans especially. That one gets away from the catcher Alvarez. So a 2-2 count on Battaglia now. As he fouls one back off the shin guard of Alvarez. Keeps it a 2-2 count. Jones with the ball again. I'm ready to do this again as Battaglia steps back into the box. A ground ball right back up the middle. Husky moves over, makes the grab, throws on over to Corper for the second out here in the inning. There's another ground ball out for Jake Jones. That brings up the Generals right fielder Peyton Reed to the plate. It's another ground ball right over the second baseman Powers. Takes a bit of a weird hop there off the lip of the infield, but Powers able to handle it, throwing over to Corper for the final out in the inning. So the Generals set down in order yet again as we head to the bottom half of the second, see if the Mustangs can put something on the board as they send up designated hitter Mike Sherburne to the plate. We're back here in the bottom half of the second inning, still knotted up at zeros as the Mustangs send designated hitter Mike Sherburne to the plate. Sherburne so far this year off to a really good start as he's 24 for 73 for a 329 average. Got 13 RBIs so far this year and just 20 games played for the Mustangs. Watches ball number one, low and in the dirt there from Nason. The swing and a miss there by Sherburne brings it to a 1-1 count. It's a big breaking ball there from Nason, drops just outside of the zone. So we're 2-1 now. The swing and a miss there for Sherburne brings it to 2-2. See if he can't avoid the strikeout here. Another swing and a miss by Sherburne. So he is set down on strikes here for Nason's third strikeout of this ball game as the right fielder Zach Johnson comes up to the plate. Johnson has quite a few RBIs on the season so far at 15, but not a fantastic batting average yet this year. He's hitting just .235, and he's played in 23 of the 28 games for the Mustangs. It's Nason now set to deliver here on this 1-0 count. Just missing there, bringing it to 2-0 now. Johnson watches ball number 3. Can't imagine he'd be swinging right now, but he's definitely aggressive at the plate as he only has 4 walks so far this year. He ends up getting his 5th one there. Watches ball number 4 go by. And that brings up the Mustangs left fielder, Kyle Richards, to the plate. Richards played in just half the games for the Mustangs so far this year. He's had 14 appearances this year, batting just .211 on the year. So still looking to get a little jump start to his bat as we're just about halfway through the season here. Watches ball number 1 just outside there, and a big break here from Nason. Nason checks over on the runner on first base, Johnson, excuse me. But Johnson back in time on that one. Nason, a left-hander, not sure if haven't really been able to see his move yet this game. We'll see if he's got a good move or a slow move. As he dealt strike number 1 there, brings it to a 1-1 count. So he deals a breaking ball in there for a ball. Just misses outside for a 2-1 now. As Richards fouls one back behind the stands here. Of course, as always, the broken glass sound effect. So 2-2 count on Richards as Nason takes a long look over Johnson at first. Still delivers and a fly ball into right field. The right fielder Reed settles under it, makes the grab for out number 2 here in the second inning. And the Mustangs third baseman Hayden Steele now coming up to the plate. Fly ball was a little too shallow for Johnson to even make an attempt to advance on the play, so he still stands at first. He takes off for second base, and a foul tip, I believe it was there. Oh, was not a foul tip. It was just a swing and a miss by Steele, but the ball ended up getting away from the catcher, so Johnson safely steals second. As Steele looks to drive in the first run of this game with Johnson standing in scoring position now. On an 0-1 count as he watches strike number 2. A good fastball hit the outside corner. Steele played in 8 games so far. He has just 3 RBIs, so looking for that 4th one here. Looking to avoid his 10th strikeout of the season as well. Hopefully he can do it. The Mustangs can get an early lead. As that one just misses the outside corner. Brings it to a 1-2 count. Nason thinks about checking on Johnson at second, but nobody was there to cover, so no throw on the play. Steele still sitting on a 1-2 count. As Johnson takes off for third base and a high fly ball into foul territory behind the stands. That ended up bouncing off one of the bleachers down the first base side. Fortunately, doesn't look like it hit anybody on that one, so everybody okay over there. We'll get set to do this 1-2 count over again. Nason again thinks about checking on Johnson, but still no one covering. I'm sure he would have been back in time regardless. Nason deals a big breaker there. Nice little curveball from Nason. Ends up just missing, though. Deuce is wild on the scoreboard as 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. See if the Mustangs can't get that first run of the ball game in. Just in the dirt there and inside, so it's a 3-2 count, full count on Steele. Nason delivers here and a foul ball back to the fence there. So keeps it at a full count. Nason now set to deliver on the play here. He just misses the outside corner. So there's ball number 4 to Steele. Puts 2 runners on for the catcher Francisco Alvarez to come to the plate now. Alvarez batting 281 on the season. He's got just 4 RBIs so far this year, so looking for that fifth one. Is do have at least one runner in scoring position with Johnson on second. The catcher Ian Josh heads out to after that walk. Slider in there for strike number one. So an 0-1 count on Alvarez. So I hope everybody's enjoying the new feed we have and the camera actually staying on for an entire game. Hopefully it's still on as we have a ground ball over to third baseman who just steps on third for the final out here in the inning. So nothing after 2 innings, and we'll see if Jones can set the Generals down in order yet again in the top half of the third. We're back with you here in the top half of the third inning as still knotted up at zeros, and the Generals send catcher Ian Josh to the plate. Jones deals just high there for ball number one. So we have a ground ball over to Steele at third base, able to grab it and throw over to Corper, who gets the tag as the throw pulls him off there. So still able to apply the tag on a wild throw by Steele at third base. So there's the first out here in the third inning. And that brings up the left fielder for the Generals, Gage Webster, to the plate. So a little dribbler right back to Jones. He's able to pick it up, throws over to first base, and out at first for the second out here in the inning. So a couple quick outs for Jones. As that brings up the center fielder, Greg Poplison, to the plate. Jones deals and hits the outside corner there. A nice fastball by Jones, brings it to an 0-1 count. As Poplison bunts one down the third base line, goes into foul territory, so there's strike number two. So an 0-2 count on Poplison. Takes a slow walk back to the batter's box here. This is a line drive into right field. Johnson goes over, makes the grab for the final out here in the inning. So they go down in order to the Generals here in the third inning. We'll head into the bottom half of the third, see if the Mustangs can't put something on the board. All right, we're back here in the bottom half of the third innings. The Mustangs send the top of the order to the plate with Lucas Powers coming up. Powers has one plate appearance on the night, led off the game with a walk for the Mustangs. Deals outside there for ball number one. Just missing there, brings it to a 2-0 count on Powers. So 3-0 count on Powers now as he looks to draw his second walk of this ball game. There's ball number 4 for Powers. So a walk to lead off this inning as well. Now the shortstop Brandon Husky comes to the plate. Husky 0 for 1 on the night, grounded into a fielder's choice in the first inning as Powers was thrown out at second base. Husky lays down a bunt just in front of the catcher, able to pick it up is Josh and throws on to first for the first out here in the inning, but Powers able to advance on that play. And that brings up the center fielder for the Mustangs, Ryan Abernathy, to the plate. Abernathy 0 for 1 on the night as he struck out looking back in the first inning. As Powers takes off for third base and not in time. Not in time is the throw. So Powers tries to pull a fast one on the pitcher, but is able to throw over to the third baseman Blacksher in time. So Powers out at third base. So 2 away for the Mustangs now is Abernathy still at the plate. He fouls one off to the third base side there. So an 0-1 count now. Line drive down the right field line ends up going into foul territory. So 0-2 on Abernathy. Here's one just outside, so 1-2 count. Still 2 away here in the bottom of the third. A big breaking ball there ends up falling just outside, so a 2-2 count. There's one in the dirt, brings to a full count on Abernathy. So just like his first at bat, able to work back from that 1-2 start to bring it to a full count. We'll see if hopefully this one does not have the same result as it did strike out looking in that at bat. There's a foul tip by Abernathy. There's a ground ball over to the second baseman, Bowling, able to pick it up, throw it over to first base for the final out here in the inning. So 3 innings down now, and still a 0-0 tie as the Generals come up to bat in the top half of the fourth. We're back here in the top half of the fourth inning as the Mustangs take the field. And the top of the order now for the Ozark Generals with the second baseman Trevor Bowling coming to the plate. Bowling 0 for 1 on the night as he led off the game with a ground out to the shortstop Brandon Husky. As Jones deals a nice breaking pitch in there for strike number 1. And there's a swing and a miss by Bowling, so 0-2 count. There's a ball in the dirt there, so 1-2 count on Bowling. Jones delivers just inside there for evening the count now at 2-2. The foul ball off of Bowling's leg there, so hopefully he's okay. He does seem to be, just taking a few extra seconds in between pitches here. Stepping back in the box on a 2-2 count. There's ball number 3 just outside there. The ground ball over to the third baseman, just foul. So keeps it at a full count on Bowling. A swing and a miss by Bowling for strike number 3 in the at-bat. Jones's second strikeout of this ball game. That sends up the shortstop for the Generals, John Goodrich, to the plate. Goodrich 0 for 1 of the night. He grounded right back to the pitcher, Jones, in the first inning. A foul tip by him, so it's 0-1 count now. Another foul tip by the batter Goodrich, so it brings it to 0-2. It's high and outside, so a 1-2 count on Goodrich. Just misses inside to even it at 2s. So we have time called there. Goodrich readjusts the gloves and hops back in for next pitch in the at-bat. So we have a ground ball over to the third baseman, Steele. Backhands it, but in foul territory, so count remains at 2s. The swing and a miss by Goodrich for Jones's third strikeout of this ball game, the second out here in the fourth, and that brings up the designated hitter Robert Prado to the plate. Prado watches one just inside there. Nice fastball by Jones, just missing inside on the plate there. So ground ball down the third base line into foul territory, brings it to a 1-1 count. As all the kids go chasing after it down there in the left field concourse. Jones delivers ball number 2 in the dirt. Jones having a hard time finding the strike zone with this batter as he moves it to a 3-1 count. See if he can battle back from this one. It's such a good hitter's count. As he does hit strike number 2 there, so full count on Prado. Jones delivers, and they ground ball over to the third baseman Steele. He grabs it on a high hop, throws over to Corper for the final out here in the inning. We'll head to the bottom half of the fourth, still knotted up at zeros here, and we'll see what the Mustangs can do. We're back here in the bottom half of the fourth inning as the Mustangs send first baseman Joe Corker to the plate. I do want to say before this further get going here that I do apologize. I was told before this game started that number 32 for the Generals was starting. That's Richard Nassen. But I do believe, I didn't even think to check, but he's actually not starting tonight, as is actually number 19, Tyler Huffstickler. So I do apologize for the first 3 innings going through that with not having the right starting pitcher for the Generals. But Huffstickler's the one on the mound, a lefty, as he throws in there as Corper fouls one off, brings to 1-1 now. It's a ground ball over to the shortstop, Goodrich on the play. He backhands it, but not in time as a throw. So Corper with an infield single to lead off the fourth here. And the designated hitter, Mike Sherburne, now coming up to the plate. Sherburne 0 for 1 on the night as he struck out swinging back in the second inning. Corper on first base, standing at 6'5", I believe, about 240. You wouldn't think he has a lot of speed, but he does have 5 stolen bases on the year, so maybe not paying a lot of attention to him, but you're still going to want to keep at least a little bit of an eye on him, as he may be able to. Huffstickler deals, and just outside there for ball number 2 as Ian Joss, the catcher, goes out to talk to him, try and settle him down a little bit. Josh back behind the plate now as Huffstickler set to deal. It's a fly ball into the stands down the first base side, just off the roof of the clubhouse. Actually bounced back up into the stands, and somebody caught it. So a nice snag by him over there, as he comes away with a fun souvenir for tonight. But a 2-1 count on Sherburne. Here's a bit of a breaking ball by Huffstickler. Ends up missing high on that one. Brings it to 3-1. Huffstickler deals, and a fly ball into right field. The right fielder Reed's coming over and just foul, I believe, is the call. That fell maybe 8 inches into foul territory, so almost something that could have put runners on the corners at least, but ends up just being a long strike as that goes to 3-2 now. Sherburne broke his bat on the play, so he's grabbing a new piece of lumber. So I do believe the camera's running low on batteries, so we're going to lose pitchers for just a second here. Stick with us as we change out batteries. It'll be right back up. Not missing any action as Sherburne's just about to step back into the plate, or into the box, excuse me. Sitting on that full count now. There's ball 4, gets away from the catcher, Josh. Corper not running very hard on the play, so he stays at second base. As that one trickled all the way back to the backstop. There's a walk. It is Huff Stickler's 5th walk of the night. He has a mound visit now. So the Mustangs will have runners on first and second with none away here in the bottom half of the 4th. The coach heads back to the dugout. Huff Stickler staying in the game. Mustangs now send the right fielder Zach Johnson to the plate. Johnson walked back in the 2nd inning, ended up having a stolen base, but was the final out of that inning as Alvarez ended up grounded to the 3rd baseman. Johnson tries to lay down a bunt there. Popped it back to the backstop here, so 0-1 count on Johnson. Playing in at first base as Johnson looked to lay down another bunt, catching the runner off guard, but throws it into right field, does the catcher Josh, and Corper comes all the way around from second to score, and a wild throw by Josh. So there's the first run of the game as that ends up putting Sherburne on third base. So they almost picked off Sherburne at first base, but a wild throw by the catcher Ian Josh to the second baseman who was covering the bag, Trevor Bowling, ended up flying over his head into right field. So the Mustangs have Corper coming all the way around to score on that one. Take the 1-0 lead here in the bottom half of the 4th. And now have their second run just sitting 90 feet away at third base. A ground ball over to the third baseman. Blacksher on the play. He's able to backhand it. Makes a wild throw. Ends up taking a short hop on Battaglia. Back to the Mustangs dugout over there. So Johnson ends up going all the way to second on that play, and Mike Sherburne ends up coming to score. So there's the Mustangs' second run of this ball game. Still none away here in the bottom half of the 4th. I believe they ruled that one an error on the Generals. So a couple errors here on the bottom of the 4th for the Generals, allows a couple Mustangs runs to score. So they take a 2-0 lead and have a runner still standing on second as they send up the left fielder Kyle Richards to the plate. Richards fouls one off down the right field line there. He's 0 for 1 of the night. He flew out to the right fielder Peyton Reed back in the 2nd inning. So he fouls one back into the netting on that one. So an 0-2 count on Richards. As Huffstickler deals just outside there, brings it to a 1-2 count on Richards. It's a little half swing there from Richards. Ends up going to right field. A sliding grab almost, but it bounces just in front of the right fielder, Reed. Johnson coming around from second base as Richards heads over to third, and out at third base is Richards, but Johnson still able to score on the play as the Mustangs now play 3 in the inning. That was their first out. It was a double from Kyle Richards, ended up bouncing just in front of a sliding Peyton Reed in right field and bounced over his head. He's able to get it in quickly, though, as Richards was thrown out at third base. And the Mustangs send up third baseman Hayden Steele to the plate as Ian Josh heads out to talk to Huffstickler. He got through 3 innings fairly easily, but a couple costly errors in this one as the Mustangs played a 2-on-2 errors, and then that one in right field. A sliding Peyton Reed trying to make a good play on that one. I was unable to, and that played to the third run this inning for the Mustangs. So one away, the 3-0 lead for the Mustangs, and Hayden Steele at the plate. We'll see what he can do. He fouls one down the right field line. Ends up going to the right field concourse, bouncing over the Mustangs clubhouse. Is Huffstickler now set to deliver here. A ground ball right through the hole between shortstop and third base. Steele ends up on first base with a single there for him. So a runner on first base with one away here, and the catcher Frankie Alvarez coming to the plate as it looks like Huffstickler's day is done. It's his second mound visit this inning, so we'll be back with a pitching change for the Generals in just a few short moments after the Mustangs put up 3 in this inning. We'll see who the new pitcher is in just a little bit. I will. Keep missing the number. Watch. Pay attention. That's what I thought. hate this team so much. We're back here in the bottom half of the fourth. Mustangs have plated 3 already, and there's a pitching change for the Generals as Tyler Huffstickler's day is done. He went 3 1/3, allowed just 2 hits, but had 5 walks and 3 runs allowed. And the replacement for him is number 13, Justin Heuerman. Heuerman is the right-handed pitcher going up against the right-handed batter, Frankie Alvarez. He lines one into the right center gap, goes all the way back, and the center fielder, Poppelson, able to cut it off. So he ends up with a stand-up double on the play, and that brings Hayden Steele all the way over to second. Or, excuse me, Hayden Steele all the way over to third. A nice double for Alvarez's first hit of this game. And we go back to the top of the Mustangs lineup with Lucas Powers now coming to the plate. Still just 1 away here in the bottom half of the fourth. Couple in scoring position now. As Heuerman deals high there for ball number 1. As Heuerman deals ball number 1, so 1-1 count on Powers now. There's one low one in the dirt, but Josh able to block it. So 2-1 count. As the music gets playing to try and get the fans into this one. There's a couple of them cheering out there. I don't see why not, as the Mustangs have that 3-0 lead. As Heuerman deals a slider, looks to just miss the zone, so brings it to 3-1. As Heuerman walks Powers, so that loads the bases for the shortstop, Brandon Husky, now coming to the plate. Generals were able to go through the first few innings rather quickly, but having mighty struggles here in the fourth. They've allowed 3 already and have the bases loaded as Heuerman deals ball number 1. It's a ground ball down third baseline, just foul for Husky. Heuerman now set to deal to Husky. As he just misses the outside corner on a little curveball there. This brings us to a 2-1 count. He's having a hard time finding the strike zone as he came in to replace Huffstickler. He just misses yet again, so there's a 3-1 count. Heuerman also struggling mightily in this inning. As he comes in, immediately allows on his first pitch that double to Frankie Alvarez and ends up walking Powers. Now a line drive into right field, falls in there for a base hit as Reed picks it up, comes up gunning to home, but the runner Hayden Steele came around to score. Alvarez went over to third and did not try to go and score, so the bases still remain full as the Mustangs have now plated 4 runs in this inning. And the 9th batter of the inning now coming up with the center fielder Ryan Abernathy. There's another meeting at the mound in this inning. It's something I've always wondered. I was Never a pitcher back in my playing days. But I've always wondered what the coaches say during mound visits. You got to figure at this point in time he's going in there just to get Heuerman's mind off of this game as he's struggled a little bit coming in relief of Huffstickler. See if he goes in, just ask him what he's doing after the game or something like that. Trying to get his mind off as he faces the best hitter in this Mustangs lineup with Ryan Abernathy at the plate. But a swing and a miss by Abernathy brings it to 0-1. Heuerman deals, then Abernathy fouls one back to the fence. A balloon got released, actually stuck up in the net there. Sure, some kid was looking to take that home, and it's kind of sad now. It's unfortunate. Makes me a little sad. But an 0-2 count on Abernathy as a foul ball back in behind the stands here. So still an 0-2 count on Abernathy. Still just one away here in the bottom of the fourth. As Heuerman sets now. And a fly ball into center field. Center fielder Poppelson moves over, makes the catch. Tagging up from third base is Alvarez. Cut off by the first baseman, so no attempt to get Alvarez out at home as he scores the Mustangs' 5th run of this inning on a sac fly by Ryan Abernathy. And the Mustangs have now batted around in this inning as they send up the man that led it all off with a single, an infield single, Joe Corper. So Corper 1 for 2 on the night. As he, again, I said he led off this inning with a single. As Heuerman just misses outside for ball number 1. As the ball gets away from Josh there, so both runners advance safely. So runners at second and third now. As Powers heads over to third and Husky at second. So the Mustangs back to 2 runners in scoring position as Corper looks to add to his 9 RBIs on the season so far. So there's a ball low in the dirt. Josh able to block it, keep it in front of him there. So Powers not able to try and score on that one. Heuerman deals on a line drive right back up the middle into center field. Poppelson drive comes charging in, scoops it up, throws on, but the throw cut off, so both runs score as Powers comes in from third to score. Husky all the way around from second to score on that one. So that's 7 runs in the inning for the Mustangs as Corper has an RBI single there. And now the designated hitter for the Mustangs, Mike Sherburne, comes up to the plate. As Heuerman deals outside there, brings it to 1-0. Heuerman now sets to deal to Sherburne here. And a high fly ball down the right field line ends up going into the right field concourse, bouncing off the top of the clubhouse. So there's strike number 1, a 1-1 count. Before we go any further in this game, I would like to say congratulations to Brett Ash, who ended up getting signed by the Mariners today, the Mustangs closer. Sad to see him go, as he was very dominant coming in the ninth inning. He had 10 saves on the Mustangs season and 19 strikeouts and just 10 and a thirds inning pitch. So sad to see him go, but good for him and good publicity as well for the Mustangs. Never a bad thing when somebody signs. They've had quite a few of them this year. As the count moves to 3-1. The ground ball down the third base line goes foul, so moves to a full count now. 3-2 on Sherburne. Here sets the Corporate takes off for second base, but fouled by Sherburne. So we'll reset things here, do it all over again with a full count. It's Corporate taking off again. A line drive into right center field, just ends up being shallow right center field as the second baseman Bowling heads back, makes the grab there for the final out in the inning, but the Mustangs batter around the order, end up scoring 7 runs here in the bottom of the fourth, so we'll have a 7-0 lead, and we'll see if Jones can shut down the Generals yet again in the top of the fifth. We're back with you in the top half of the fifth. Mustangs have that 7-0 lead after they played at 7 runs in the bottom of the fourth. Jake Jones still on the hill for the Mustangs as they send up the third baseman Spencer Blacksher to the plate. Blacksher 0 for 1 on the night as he struck out swinging back in the second inning. We'll see if Jones can't get the same result against him here. There's ball number 1 just low. Ground ball off the plate in the foul territory there, so 1-1 count on Blacksher. Jones again dealing low there, moves it to 2-1. Throws one high there, so 3-1 count on Blacksher. A line drive down the right field line ends up going into the stands down there, so moves it to a full count. Jones deals, and Blacksher fouls one off there. So count remains at full. Jones deals, and a ground ball over to Husky at shortstop, able to backhand it, throws on over to Corper, pulls him up off the bag, but able to come down in time for the first out here in the 5th inning. That brings up the first baseman, Joe Battaglia, to the plate. Battaglia 0 for 1 on the 9s. He grounded out to the shortstop, Husky, back in the 2nd inning. Jones deals a nice little breaking piece in there for strike number 1. Brings to an 0-1 count. So a line drive down the left field line ends up into fair territory all the way to the wall. As Battaglia goes around first, ends up with a stand-up double on that one. And that is the first hit that Jake Jones has allowed in 11 1/3 innings. So he threw that no-hitter to start his Mustangs career. Ended up going 4 hitless in this one and had that ground out to lead off this inning. Then all of a sudden allowed that double. So a pinch runner now comes in. See if we can't hear who that is, but Battaglia is pulled from this game as the right fielder Peyton Reed comes to the plate. The pinch runner for the Generals comes in for Joe Battaglia. It's number 21, Justin Shander now. As Jones deals just low there for ball number 1. It's a ground ball over to the right side. Corp able to field it and step on first, but Shander moves over to third base on the play as the catcher Ian Josh now comes up to the plate. Josh 0 for 1 on the 9s. He grounded out to the third baseman Steele to lead off the 3rd inning. Interesting seeing Shandner out there running as on the sheet he's listed as a pitcher, but obviously has some sort of speed or they wouldn't be throwing him out there. Do ask you guys to forgive me once again, as that's actually number 27. Kind of tough to see. So it's not Justin Shander, the pitcher. It's actually Scott Alvarez, who's listed as an infielder. So that makes a little bit more sense. Fortunately, I looked at that one before I made too big of another mistake. Because it's a 3-1 count. On the catcher, Ian Josh. As he grounds one over to Steele at third base, bounces off his chest, able to pick it up and over to Corper in time at first base. Oh, yeah, in time at first base. So the Generals have somebody go all the way around to third on the first hit Jake Jones has allowed in his Mustangs career, but not able to do anything with it as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Mustangs still have that 7-0 lead. We're back with you here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, as the Mustangs still have that 7-0 lead after they played at 7 in the bottom of the 4th. They head up with Zach Johnson now coming up to the plate. As the person that came in and pinch ran for Battaglia in the last inning comes in at first base. That's Scott Alvarez. There's actually a new pitcher on the mound as Justin Heuerman's day is done, and they send in number 28, Steven Cazares, to the plate, or excuse me, to the mound. Johnson 0 for 1 in the ninth. He had a walk in the second inning and ended up reaching on an error in the 4th inning. As he grounds one to the shortstop, Goodrich, able to make a charging play, and an errant throw over there goes past him and into the dugout. So Johnson awarded second base on that one. I don't think that throw would have beat him had it been there. But regardless, it bounces past Alvarez at first base into the dugout. It looks like they have ruled that one an error. So we'll go with what the scoreboard says, and that was an error on Goodrich for Johnson be able to get to second base. And the left fielder Kyle Richards now comes up to the plate. Cazares deals, and just outside there for ball number 1. It's a deep fly ball into left center field. The left fielder Webster moves over, makes the play as a tag up from Johnson. He's able to advance to third on that play. So the third baseman Hayden Steele now comes up to the plate with Johnson now on third base after he tagged up on a deep fly ball by Kyle Richards. We'll see if St. Joe can't get another one across the plate here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Steele 1 for 1 of the night. So he has a walk and a single. Watch his strike number 1 go by there. There's a swing and a miss there for Steele. Brings it to an 0-2 count. Cazares deals high there, brings it to 1-2. Cazares deals just low there, evens the count at 2s. We see if Steele can't get something here. Drive in the Mustangs' 8th run of this ball game. There's one that gets away from the catcher, Josh. He doesn't see where it goes, so Johnson comes in to score on that one. The Mustangs now up 8-0 on a wild pitch. It's a big breaking ball there by Cazares. Sets down Steele on strikes, as he kept the bat on his shoulder on that one. That brings up Frankie Alvarez, Mustangs catcher, now to the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the night. He had a double in the 4th inning. Mustangs were able to plate one on a wild pitch by Cazares. So they have an 8-0 lead now as Alvarez watches strike number 1 go by. A swing and a miss by Alvarez for strike number 2. A fly ball down the right field line. First baseman Scott Alvarez settles under it to get out Francisco Alvarez on for the final out here in the 5th inning, but the Mustangs still able to plate one, head into the top half of the 6th with an 8-0 lead. Are we at 197 or 199? 199. That's what Matt Johnson says that? Yes. We'll go with 199 then, right? This will be the 206 if this holds on. Beautiful. Beautiful. We're back with you here in the top half of the 6th inning. Mustangs have that 8-0 lead as the Generals send up left fielder Gage Webster to the plate. Webster 0 for 1 of the night as he grounded out back to the pitcher Jones back in the 3rd inning. He has another ground ball just over Jones' head. Powers charges on the play, makes the stop, but safe at first base. That was a tough play for Powers at second base. He came in charging on that one, but ended up Webster's speed beat Powers' throw. As they send up the center fielder Greg Popillison to the plate. Popillison. The swing and a miss by Popillison for strike number 1. Been hearing that this is the Mustangs. This could be the Mustangs' 200th win since they came into the Mink League back in 2009. As they're sitting on 199 right now, so hopefully they'll be able to close out this 8-0 lead right now for their 200th victory. Matt Johnson's 200th victory, as he's been with them since the beginning. Popillison lays down a bunt back to the pitcher Jones. Not able to go to second on the play, but throws to first in time to get him out. So the runner advances to second as Hobson lays down the bunt. We head to the top of the lineup with Trevor Bowling coming to the plate. Bowling 0 for 2 on the night. He had a ground out and a strikeout. Jones deals a nice little fastball there for strike number 1, hitting the outside corner. The swing and a miss there by Bowling, but the ball in the dirt, and Alvarez able to block it, keep it in front of him. So no advancing for the runner on second base, Webster. Oh and 2 count now on Bowling. Jones deals outside for ball number 1. Tonight the music is One Hit Wonder, so that's been fun all night. It's also a fireworks spectacular brought to you by Heartland Health. They swing and a miss by Bowling for strike number 3. So set down on strikes. But as I was saying, we have a Heartland Health fireworks spectacular tonight. To the music of One Hit Wonders. So it should be fun for all the fans sitting out here. As we have a fantastic Saturday night crowd. As they watch the general shortstop John Goodrich now at the plate. Jones dealt one in the dirt there for ball number 1. They swing and a miss there for strike number 1. A 1-1 count now on Goodrich. Another swing and a miss by Goodrich brings it to a 1-2 count on a nasty breaking ball by Jones. There's strike number 3 on another good breaking ball by Jones. So there's the final out in the inning as he catches Goodrich looking. We're through 5.5 played here. Mustangs have an 8-0 lead, and we'll see what they can do in the bottom half of the 6th. Back here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, as the Mustangs have an 8-0 lead, and they send the top of the lineup with second baseman Lucas Powers coming to the plate. Powers 3 plate appearances on the night, but no official at bats as he has 3 walks so far in this one. So watch as ball number 1 go by. There's ball number 2. So 2-0 count on Powers. There's ball number 3 from, Cazares. There's strike number 1 now. As Powers fouls one down the right field line just short of the Mustangs dugout. Bring it to a full count. There's ball number 4 just missing, so Powers draws his 4th walk of this game. The Mustangs have now put their leadoff man on in every inning except the second so far, so a good job getting at least one runner on and able to at least do a little something with it, especially in the 4th inning as they put up 7 runs. Now the batter, Brandon Husky, watches strike number 1 go by. As Cazares checks on Powers at first base, but back in time is Powers. There's one in the dirt, so Powers takes off for second base. No throw by the catcher, Josh, and so Powers in there with a stand-up stolen base. So we have a 1-1 count on Husky. Husky fouls one back down the left field line behind the stands here. Cazares delivers, and another foul ball behind the stands by Husky. Keeps it at a 1-2 count. Husky 1 for 3 on the night. He had a single in the 4th inning. Ended up coming around to score as almost everyone did in that inning. He lines one into left field over the shortstop's head. The left fielder Webster able to come in and make the grab on that one for the first out here in the 6th inning. And the center fielder Ryan Abernathy now coming up to the plate. Abernathy 0 for 2 on the night. So I said Abernathy 0 for 2 on the night as he had a sac fly in the 4th inning to the center fielder Poplison. So he watches ball number 1 go by. Cazares now set to deliver here to Abernathy. He fouls one back behind the stands here. This brings it to a 1-1 count. Cazares deals there low and in the dirt. Josh able to block it. Cazares a little slower than all the pitches we've seen tonight. It takes a while in between pitches getting set and ready, so gives the hitter a lot of time to think about what's coming. So a line drive into center field just over the shortstop's head, not able to grab it. Poplison came charging in, so they hold Powers at third base, so he's not able to score on that one as Abernathy gets his first hit of this ball game. Now the first baseman Joe Corper now comes up to the plate. Corper sits at 2 for 3 on the night as he had a couple singles in the 4th inning. Ended up with a couple RBIs on the second single he hit that inning. So good night so far for Corper. Looking to add to it here in the 6th as we have runners on the corners. Corper watches strike 1 go by there. There's ball one just low there, so 1-1 count on Corper. Still one away here in the bottom of the sixth. Corper thought about swinging on that one, but stays back, so 2-1 count now. Kaiser steals, and a swing and a miss by Corper brings it to a 2-2 count now. And ground ball right back up the middle. Shortstop Goodrich not able, the ball scoots right under his glove as he was able to stop it but not make a play. So everybody's safe and the base is now loaded as they send up the designated hitter Mike Sherburne to the plate. So it looks like on the scoreboard they ended up rolling that one a hit. So Corper's third hit of the night to load the bases for Mike Sherburne. So it's just outside by Kazers for ball number one. Mustangs head on the road tomorrow down to Nevada to take on the Griffins and end up on the road on Monday as well up in Clarinda taking on the Clarinda A's. As their strike number one hit in the inside corner. They'll be back here at Phil Welch Stadium starting next Wednesday and have a little 5-game homestand as they play Wednesday through Saturday next week. We'll be here having fireworks on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of July, so should be a fun time for all that come out to that one. I know July 3rd will be a patriotic salute, and then July 4th we'll have baseball with a nice fireworks show afterwards, as well as an apple pie eating contest, and then celebrating the 100th anniversary of World War I on July 5th. So it should be a fun-filled week here at Phil Welch Stadium next week as Sherburne fouls one off there, keeps it at a 1-2 count. Sherburne fouls off another one, so the count remains 1-2. One fan trying to get the crowd into this one as he keeps on chanting as we have a fly ball into right field. Reed settles under it, makes the grab with Powers. The runner at second base tagging up. Right fielder Zach Johnson now at the plate with runners on the corners for the Mustangs. Corper takes off for second base there. So runners at second and third now. Johnson 0 for 2 on the night. He's reached on a couple errors in the 4th and 5th innings. The swing and a miss by Johnson brings to an 0-2 count. Kazers delivers, and a foul ball by Johnson keeps it an 0-2 count. He looks to for his first hit in this ball game. Kazner steals just low. Josh able to block it on that one. So 1-2 count on Johnson. A swing and a miss by Johnson for the final out here in the 6th inning. Mustangs able to plate 1 in the inning. So we'll head to the top of the 7th as they have a 9-0 lead. We'll see if Jones is back out for trying to shut down the Generals in the top half of 7th. We're back with you here in the top half of the 7th inning. Mustangs have a 9-0 lead. As the Generals send up their designated hitter, Robert Prado, to the plate. Prado 0 for 2 on the night as he ground out to the third baseman Steele twice. Jones still on the bump for the Mustangs. He's gone 6 strong innings here. A swing and a miss there. That moves it to an 0-2 count on Prado. Jones deals that just outside there. He looks for his 6th strikeout of the night. And a swing and a miss there. Alvarez able to scoop it up, apply the tag there to secure the strikeout. So Jones has his 6th strikeout of the night there as the Generals send up their third baseman Spencer Blacksher to the plate. Blacksher 0 for 2 on the night. He has a strikeout and a ground out. Watches ball number 1 go by there. And a swing and a miss by Blacksher brings it to a 1-1 count. Jones working quickly, and another swing and a miss by Blacksher. So now a 1-2 count. As Jones looks to record his 7th strikeout of this game. A swing and a miss by Blacksher for strike number 3. So Jones sets down the first 2 here in the inning on strikes. Now the First baseman Scott Alvarez coming to the plate. This is Alvarez's first plate appearance of the night as he came in to run or pinch run for the Generals starting first baseman Joe Battaglia in the 5th inning. So it's the first time that Jones is seeing Alvarez, or that Alvarez is seeing Jones. Hopefully he's able to do something against him here as Alvarez watches ball number 2 go by, brings it to a 2-0 count. It's a fly ball into center field. Abernathy settles under it and makes the grab for the final out here in the inning. So Generals go down in order here in the top half of the 7th. We'll head into the bottom half of this inning and see the Mustangs can add to their 9-0 lead. I don't care if I never come back for this root for the Mustangs. If they don't win, it's a shame. Force 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out at the old ball game. We're back here as we head into the bottom half of the 7th inning. Mustangs have that 9-0 lead as they send up the left fielder Kyle Richards to the plate. Kazra still in Miles. Richards lines one into left field past. Oh, just foul actually. So it's a long strike for Richards. Brings it to an 0-1 count. Richards 1 for 3 on the night. He had a double back in the 4th inning and ended up getting thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. There's a couple flyouts as well as he moves it to an 0-2 count. Foul one off there. Just got done with the 7th inning stretch as the manager's daughter, Brinley Johnson, came out to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" for the crowd. Always a crowd favorite here. As Richards hits a little line drive ground ball over there to the shortstop, Goodrich, able to make the play. Hope not make the play, excuse me. Apparently it pulled him, Alvarez, off the bag at first base. So Richards safe at first. I believe they will rule that one. See what they put it up as on the scoreboard there, but I would call it an error as the throw from Goodrich pulled Alvarez off the bag. All right. With the Mustangs third baseman Hayden Steele now at the plate. Watch ball one go by as he hits one, a fly ball foul there down the right field line. Looks like they ended up ruling that one by Richards actually a hit, so I guess they're saying he would have been there regardless, as he was safe at first on a throw that pulled Alvarez off the bag. So runner on first with a 1-1 count on Steele. He fouls one back into the netting, so a 1-2 count now. Steele watches one low there hit the dirt for a 2-2 count. General still have Steven Cazares on the mound. There's a swing and a miss by Steele for, I guess the umpire's saying he tipped it. I guess he tipped it and the catcher caught it on that one, so still strike number 3 on Steele for his second strikeout of this game. That brings up the catcher for the Mustangs, Frankie Alvarez, to the plate. Alvarez 1 for 2 on the night as he doubled back in the 4th inning. He tries to lay down a bunt down the third base line. Cazares jumps off the mound, slides. Might have slipped there as he tried to pick it up. The grass might be a little wet, so Alvarez safe at first. That puts runners on first and second now. That was the Mustangs' 10th hit of this ball game. That brings up the second baseman, Lucas Powers, to the plate. Powers has had 4 walks on the night. So we'll see what he does here, see if he can't get his first official at bat and get a hit in this one as he watches ball number 1 go by. Just there were a couple extra baseballs on the playing surface there as the umpire goes to grab one with the coach for the Generals running out there and picking up the rest of them. So we're back with the action here and a 1-0 count to Powers. As Cazares deals strike number 1. A nice fastball hit in the outside corner for him. So 1-1 count on Powers. As Cazares deals low there, bring it to a 3-1 count on Powers, looking to draw his 5th walk of this game. Something you don't really see anymore. The swing and a miss by Powers brings it to a full count now. As Powers fouls one back to the fence. Keeps it at a full count on him. As Cazares looking to pitch out of this jam. Runners on first and second, just one away here in the 7th inning. As Cazares deals ball number 4 to Powers, so Powers draws his 5th walk of tonight. And that loads the bases for the Mustangs. Just one away here in the bottom of the 7th. Brings up the shortstop, Brandon Husky, to the plate. Husky sits at 1 for 3 on the night. He singled in the fourth inning. Ended up having an RBI on that single. Came around to score later in that inning. Cazar's deals just outside of there. So 1-0 count. Cazar's deals hitting the corner with a fastball there for strike number 1. So 1-1 count on Husky. Husky sits at 10 RBIs on the season so far, so looking to add to that total here with the bases loaded. As we watch his strike number 2 go by. Cazar's delivers just outside there, so it evens the count at 2s. As Husky fouls one off over the clubhouse down there, the first base line. The swing and a miss by Husky for strike number 3. Cazar's second strikeout of this inning. That brings up the center fielder Ryan Abernathy to the plate. Oh, yeah. So it looks like we will have a pinch hitter for Abernathy as he's pulled from this game, and Eric Wilcoxon now coming in to hit for him. Wilcoxon batting 140 on the season so far. So he watches ball number 1 just inside there. Played in 12 games for the Mustangs this year and has just 1 RBI, so looking to add to that total here as the base is still loaded. 2 away here as Cazares hits the inside corner with a fastball for 1-1 count. A line drive into left field. Left fielder Webster makes a diving catch on the play. So for the final out here in the 7th inning, the Mustangs able to load the bases, not able to do anything with it. We'll head to the top half of the 8th. Mustangs still leading 9-0. We're back here with you in the top half of the 8th inning. As the Mustangs have a few defensive changes with Josh Cassidy coming in to replace Joe Corper at first base. Eric Wilcoxon coming to replace Lucas Powers at second. And Powers moves into center field to replace Ryan Abernathy, who Wilcoxon pinch hit for in the bottom half of the 7th. And we have a pinch hitter for the uh, Generals here. Trying to see the number. So that is number 26, it looks like. Skylar Henson coming to do pinch hit for Peyton Reed. He sits on a 1-2 count now. He tried to check his swing there, but ends up going all the way or going around, as says the umpire, for a strikeout in this one. Another pinch hitter for the Generals, as Ian Josh is being pinch hit for by number 7, Danny Rowley. As he watches strike number 1 go by. Fouls one off back to the fence there. The Generals trying to get something going here as they have a couple pinch hitters come in to start off this inning. As Jones hits it for strike number 3 there, so 2 strikeouts to start this inning. And another pinch hitter for the Generals coming in as number 18, Kelvin Brito, coming up to the plate as he's pinch hitting for the starting left fielder, Gage Webster. He's just outside there for ball number 1. So 1-0 count, or 2-0 count now. There's some fireworks going off in the distance of the outfield there. Maybe a little preview for the fans tonight, as it is Saturday for a fireworks spectacular. There's a swing and a miss by Brito for strike number 1. Jones set to deal now. On 7 2/3 strong so far in this one, allowing just 2 hits and no runs as he deals strike number 2, hitting the inside corner. A nice fastball brings it to an even count at 2-2 now. See if he can't get his 10th strikeout of this game. Not able to, as a high fly ball deep into right field. Johnson tracking back, not able to make the grabs. It goes all the way to the wall, picks it up, and Brito heading over to third base on that one. So a stand-up triple for Kelvin Brito for his first at-bat in this game. That was a deep fly ball into right center field. Johnson almost makes the grab, but unable to out there. So Brito ends up on third, and see if we have another pinch hitter coming in. It looks like we don't, as the center fielder Greg Populson stays in this game. Populson 0 for 2 on the night. He's got a couple flyouts, or a flyout and a ground out, excuse me. He grounds one right back to the pitcher, Jones. He scoops it up on over to Cassidy at first for the final out in this one. So we're through 7.5 innings. Mustangs will come up to bat in the bottom half of the 8th with a 9-0 lead. Back with you here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Mustangs have a pinch hitter coming to the plate as Josh Cassidy comes in to pinch hit for Joe Corper after he was a defensive replacement in the top half of this inning. Also a new pitcher for the Generals as Steven Casar's day is done and Justin Shander comes in to pitch. Also defensive change at catcher for the Generals as Austin Avalos is in to catch, and I believe Kelvin Brito, who pinch hit for Gage Webster in the top half of the 8th inning, is in left field now. As Shander deals to a 2-0 count on Cassidy. Cassidy played in 15 games for the Mustangs so far this year, batting .235 for him. So looking to improve upon that here. As you watch the strike number 1 go by, hitting the inside corner, a little breaking piece by Shander. 2-1 count on Cassidy. As Cassidy tips one there, brings it to an even count at 2-2. As a fly ball down the first base line goes into the right field concourse down there, so keeps it at 2-2. Shander deals inside there, brings it to a full count now at 3-2. Cassidy fouls one back behind the stands here, so keeps it at a full count. Shander deals and hits Cassidy on the left shoulder there. Almost in the head if Cassidy would not have turned away from that one, but able to turn a little bit and hit him in the left shoulder there as he's now on first base. And another pinch hitter for the Mustangs as number 5, Andrew Standifer, comes in to hit for Mike Sherburne. Shander deals just low there for ball number 1. Shander having a tough time finding the zone in this one as I was watching the warm-up pitches. He ended up hitting the dirt a couple times, so still trying to find his stuff in relief here. He does hit the inside corner there, bring it to a 1-1 count. Dealing just high on that one, so 2-1 count on Standifer. Standifer comes into this one batting .211 on the season, as he's gone just 15 for 71 so far. He watches ball number 3 go by there, so 3-1 count. As he draws a walk here. So runners on first and second for St. Joe now is the right fielder Zach Johnson now coming to the plate. Johnson 0 for 3 on the night. He's reached base on error a couple times. Ended up having a strikeout in the 6th inning. The ball gets past the catcher there, and both runners advance on that one. A wild pitch by Shander. He's just inside there, so 2-0 count now on Johnson. As Johnson fouls one back, rolling all the way up the netting here, so brings it to 2-1. A line drive into left field. Brito moves in, not able to make it. Charging in, falls just in front of him. So Cassidy ends up coming to score from third on that single by Johnson. The runner at second base, Standifer, moves over to third on the play. Johnson's first hit of this night as he drives in the Mustangs' 10th run of this ball game. That brings up the left fielder Kyle Richards to the plate. Richards 2 for 4 on the night. He's got a double and a single so far. So runners on the corners now. There's ball number 1 just low. Deals one high there, so 2-0 count now on, Richards. There's one low and at Richards' feet there, so a 3-0 count. As Chandler has a tough time finding the strike zone in this one. He just hits the inside corner. Nice fastball there, so 3-1 count. Deals and Richards fouls one back there. So brings it to a full count at 3-2 now. Little check swing right back to the pitcher. He's able to pick it up, throw it over to first base for the first out here in the game, or for here in the inning. As Johnson moves over to second on the play, so runners at second and third now. Now a pinch hitter comes in for Hayden Steele. It's number 22, Evan McDonald, coming into the game. A swing and a miss by McDonald brings to an 0-1 count. He fouls one back to an 0-2 count now. McDonald played in 16 games so far this year and is batting 162. He's gone 6 for 37. So a tough start halfway through the year here. He looks to turn things around, drive in a couple. He fouls another one back behind the stands. Keeps it at an 0-2 count. Big deal, and Avalos able to drop down and block that one. So 1-2 count now on the batter McDonald. The pitcher looks to get out of some trouble here. Just misses the inside corner of that one, so evens the count at 2-2. That almost hits him, gets away from the catcher Avalos and back to the backstop. So the runner from third base, Standifer, comes in to score on that one. And Johnson moves up to third base on the play and brings it to a full count now. As McDonald's been able to battle back from an 0-2 start, bring us to a full count. The Mustangs now have an 11-0 lead. This pitcher deals high there for ball number 4. So runners on the corners yet again for St. Joe is going to have a mound visit. Try and take his mind off of things a little bit or see if we have a pitching change or not. So no pitching change here for the Generals as they keep him in the game and try to take his mind off of things. We have runners on the corner. Looks like we'll have a bit of a lineup change as manager Matt Johnson is talking to the umpires. We'll see who's coming in to bat now, as it would be the catcher Frankie Alvarez, but it looks like he's being pinch hit for. It's number 4, Jeremiah Figueroa, coming in to pinch hit for Frankie Alvarez. It looks like we will have a pinch runner for Zach Johnson at third base as well. That's going to be the Mustangs' other catcher, Nick Sebastian, coming in to pinch run for Zach Johnson in this one. The first pitch of Figueroa's at bat ends up hitting him on his right foot. So hits him on the back foot there as he hops around for a little bit and jogs on down to first base. So base is now loaded for the Mustangs as Evan McDonald moves over to second base on that one, and the pinch runner Nick Sebastian still at third. As Figueroa seems to be visibly distraught by that one, still kind of hopping around first base. The Mustangs head back to the top of the lineup with second baseman, or now center fielder, Lucas Powers coming to the plate. Powers has 5 plate appearances on the night, but has 5 walks in those plate appearances, so no official at-bats for him as he watches strike number 1 go by. They fly a ball into foul territory behind the stands here. It hits off the roof of the stadium, so an 0-2 count on Powers. And a swing and a miss by Powers for strike number 3 and the second out of this inning. That brings up the Mustangs shortstop. It's like it's Matthew Johnson coming in. He's hitting for Brandon Husky as he came in for as a defensive replacement in the top half of this inning. As he watches strike number 1 go by. There's one high there, brings it to a 1-1 count. Johnson's played in 16 games so far, gone just 4 for 46 for a .087 average. He's having a rough go of it at the dish so far this year. See if he can't pick it up. He only has 2 RBIs. He's looking to add a couple to that total here. It's a fly ball into foul territory, just back there against the netting. The catcher, Avalos, makes the catch for the final out in the inning here. Mustangs able to plate a couple in the bottom of the 8th there, so they have an 11-0 lead, and we'll see if they can close out their 200th victory at the top of the 9th. All right, we're back with you here in the top half of the 9th inning. A few defensive changes as The Mustangs hit the field as they had a few pinch hitters in the last inning. So Jeremiah Figueroa now replaces Zach Johnson at right. Evan McDonald replaces Hayden Steele at third base. Nick Sebastian comes in to catch. And now Jake Jones's day is done here as he goes 8 strong innings, allowing just 3 hits, no runs, has no walks, and 10 strikeouts on the night. And the new pitcher for the Mustangs now is number 55, John Pomado. Pomado's pitched in 7 games so far this year, so he's pitched 6 innings. So he throws strike number 1 there to the batter. Believe it's Trevor Bowling. Yes, he's still in the game, so Trevor Bowling up to the plate now. He watches ball number 2 go by, so 2-0 count. Bowling 0 for 3 on the night with a couple of strikeouts. See what Pomado can do against him here. Pomado 8 strikeouts on the year. He deals ball number 3 as we're having a tough time finding the zone in his relief appearance tonight. So 3-0 count on Bowling. Pomado finally finds the strike zone. That one brings it to a 3-1 count. A nice fastball by him. He deals way outside there for ball number 4, so walks the leadoff batter here in the 9th inning. That brings up the shortstop for the Generals, John Goodrich, to the plate. Goodrich also 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts tonight. Pomado deals just low there for ball number 1. Say ground ball over to the shortstop. Johnson will flip it over to Wilcoxon covering second, over to first, and not in time as the throw gets by Cassidy covering the bag. So able to get the lead runner on that one, but not able to get Goodrich running to first base as that throw goes wild by Wilcoxon. So 1 away here in the top of the 9th as the designated hitter Robert Prado comes to the plate. Prado 0 for 3 on the night. He's got a couple of ground outs to third base and a strikeout so far tonight. Pomado deals low there for ball number 1. Mustangs just 2 outs away now from closing out their 200th victory in their 6 years here in St. Joe. Also, manager Matt Johnson's 200th victory is he's been all 6 years with them. There's another ground ball over to Johnson. He flips over to Wilcox in a second, over to first base Cassidy, and out. A double play to end the game here. So the Mustangs set them down in order in the 9th. And that is their 200th victory, as that is manager Matt Johnson's 200th victory. So we'll stick around here as the Mustangs win 11-0 in this one. We'll see who the Eagle Radio player of the game is. I would say it would be Jake Jones if I were to put money on it, but I believe they're going to say it looks like it's going to be Matt Johnson, as this is his 200th victory. Can't let that 200th one go unnoticed, so I think we're going to call him the player of the game tonight. As Kelly Shipp stands on the field waiting to get his interview. Coming up right after the interview, we will have fireworks for you. If you want to stick around for that, we'll toss the camera on that and let the microphone keep going for the one-hit wonders that'll be playing during it.
It's time for the hero rating player of the game. Player of the game is Jake Johnson. We went 8 innings of 3 ball. On top of this, nobody would ask you, how does this feel?
Hey, good. They played a lot better tonight, didn't they? Yeah.
Alright, you're going to player of the game.
So here we have it, Eagle Radio player of the game, Jake Jones tonight. Something tells me they were trying to get Matt Johnson, but I'm sure he gave all the credit to the players in his 200th victory. As we do have Matt Johnson actually coming out to talk on the field to the fans after his 200th victory, as I said.
What does this mean? 200. What's that mean?
It goes for his head. We had a lot of great players who played over here the last 5.5 years. It's really a credit to them to get 200 wins in such a short time.
You have now 200 wins, 2 games in a row. What can we expect from you as the years go?
We just have to let our work players on the field. We need our best effort every night. As long as they're staying practice every single night.
Players manager Matt Johnson talking as he's thanking all the fans for coming out tonight and coming to every Mustangs game. The Mustangs will be on the road tomorrow at Nevada, but they'll be back at Phil Welch Stadium on Wednesday. As we have the Mustangs taking the 11-0 win tonight and moving to 14-7 in league play, keep their lead in the North Division. So we'll have fireworks coming up in just a few short moments. And hopefully see you back here at Wednesday night as Mustangs come back to Phil Welch Stadium. But if not, hope to see you on the YouTube broadcast. Hope everyone has a great night.